Good afternoon and welcome to my YouTube channel, Defining Virtuosity. I'm Odin Rathnam and we're now continuing on with Wohlfahrt Etude number 48, marked Allegretto. Many of the fingerings are changed in this particular study to avoid two types of things that I see in the original. The first is that the original editor has done a lot of half-step shifts using the same finger. Now, while I am all for being able to do that and using it in certain places, I'm not sure that on a slur in this particular context it's ideal. Rather, I've altered the fingerings to avoid two things: to avoid shifts during slurs and to avoid string crossings whenever possible during the slurs. So the fingerings will be altered, and I'd like to walk you briefly through them. Let me grab my fiddle. In the first measure, instead of shifting, just use the second finger and use open 1 to get to second position. And then open E on that, 2-1, back to first, fourth finger, again to avoid that on the slur. So, okay, so that'll be the figure for the first line. The last time that we go up at the end of the bar, we're now in second position. For the next full 2 measures, remain in second position. Open E, back first position, third position, first position, and here's the one time in the etude I break the rule by going 2, 3, 1 here again, no, sorry, 2, 3, third position, extended, first position, Now, there are several ways we can practice this that can really help us. One of the first things that I suggest to students is to really treat them sort of as martelets. Cross and set the next 2 notes up. Set up the next 2 notes, both in terms of your playing and the finger being ready so that it can vibrate right away. Set up the next notes. Sort of observing the same kind of principles that we would use in Kreutzer number 7. That when you finish a stroke, you're already prepared on the new string, both with the left hand and the right hand, ahead of the sounds. And you go through the study very carefully that way. In the bow arm, I would say a couple of things that help for sound production. The first is we have to have contact with the string in terms of transferring arm weight to the string through the index finger. The second is that the arm has to feel as though it's hanging at the shoulder. And the third is that we can't lock the hinge side to side in the hand. If we can manage those 3 things, well, then the sound will be good during the vowels. What I mean is after the catches, sound of the E after the little click at the beginning, if we're holding arm weight up, it doesn't stay in the string. If we don't have contact, it doesn't stay in the string. And if we're stiff in the wrists, that brittleness can be heard in the sound. So those 3 things of the comfortable hinge, the hanging sensation in the shoulder, and contact with the string help us to establish what the ideal planes are. And I'm really reminding myself to bend the thumb slightly at every change to a down bow and release it slightly to a less bent shape on every up bow, more than having any exaggerated motion on the top of the hand like this, which is an exaggeration, and it's not really correct. It's more side to side feeling, and you feel it mostly under the hand, in the thumb, and in the wrist. The fingers just go along with it because they're relaxed, because they're not stiff. But if we make a manufactured, exaggerated finger shape change, two things happen. It actually brings our arms to different planes, so the sound isn't the same. But also, on the change to down bow, it throws a lurch into the stick that causes many people's bows to shake. And I've seen so many times people playing lyrical passages and developing a shake because they exaggerate the weight transference and how much to curl the fingers and how much to bend the thumb. So there, I would say again, apply Galamian's principles in percentages until you reach comfort and result. If you do an exaggeration of whatever your concept is, it's not correct, and it won't feel right and it won't sound right. So for this study, we practice first, setting up. Then when you go to the straight back and forth stroke, it should be clear. A final note, I like to really exaggerate the stretching of the bicep here in the beginning, the bending of the thumb to get that feeling right there, to really open up the arm on the down bow as a matter of study and just working the muscles. I also like to be very careful at the change of the frog not to have an angle that's too much this way at the moment of change or this way, but at the moment of change that I am parallel to the bridge when I bend the thumb and when I feel that sideways motion in the wrist, and that the shoulder is free, that you're not locked at the shoulder right when you go from up to down. So pushing out a lot at the tip and making sure that the angle isn't exaggerated this way or this way at the frog, but stays parallel when you make that change is very, very helpful. The last two lines, just a little footnote, you can actually leave the one down. And I would emphasize the C in the penultimate measure and grow the sound. Last line. So that there's some sense of finality to the etude. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you'll like and share and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, you can write them in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching.